You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Well, let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is, let's call it Wednesday. What do you think? Work for you? 16th day of May 2018, also known as the Hump Day, and depending upon your time zone, you might already be on that downward slide into the weekend, so congratulations. Those of us out here on the West Coast and places nearby, well, we got to wait a little bit, but we're looking forward to it, same as you did. Hope you're having a great Wednesday, wherever you're at. Dollar hitting all new highs and stuff. Can't see the chart I have up, by all means go to our homepage at cfrn.net, and on the right hand side of the page click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered through the end of the month. You only have to register once per month, and that gives you one-click access every day to the discussion, to the charts, to the chat box, to it all. Okay, the backup alternative is youtube.com/CFRN/live. Okay, Now, if you're returning, welcome back. If you're here for the first time, a special welcome to you. We are glad to have you with us. And I just want to say I don't take it lightly, after all these years, that you continue on a daily basis to invite us into your home, into your office, into your car, into your walk with the dog, into your life. We do take that very seriously, and we always strive to bring you the very best information that we can. We don't put on airs. We don't try to be who we're not. We don't try to convince you that we're something, well, that we aren't. We are unscripted, raw radio, every single day. Now in our 14th year, second decade, however you want to paint it, whatever label you want to put on it. If you'd have told me back in April of 2005 that in May of 2018 I'd still be sitting behind this microphone, or one very similar to this microphone, I would have actually I won't even go into it right now, but it was much different back then. So anyway, we'll take a look at the numbers, then Michael will come in and give us a recap. Oh, this chart that I have up. Let's see, I wanted to see what happened here. We had called this the Williamson trade yesterday, and for good reason. He had identified this as an important place, important price, important area, and its price worked its way back up. I was hoping there was going to be a leg down for no other reason than I could say, hey Williamson, see, you identified important price, important area, and it took a day. And you know what? His number was 16, and when it hit 16, it dropped all the way to 12. That's 4 S&P points. Hey, that's 2 good days in the trenches. Thumbs up for the Williamson trade. Turn off phone, note to self. Okay. Now, what's going on in the world real quick with most cryptocurrencies producing significant gains during April? Cryptocurrency hedge funds also generated bullish performance last month. The Eureka Hedge, that's really the name, the Eureka Hedge Cryptocurrency Hedge Fund Index estimates the gains made by crypto funds to have been 45.43% during April. According to Eureka Hedge's historical data, April 2018 was the 6th strongest performing month ever for virtual currency funds, and the 4th highest performing month of the last 4 years. The preceding months that outperformed this past April, last month, were December of 2017, we saw an 80% run up. August of 2017, a 60% run up. May of 2017, an 81% run. And November of 2013, 405%. And October of 2013, 47%. Now, despite April's impressive performance, Eureka Hedge estimates 2018's year-to-date performance to be negative 22%. Eureka Hedge states that its data for April 2018 is based on 71.43% of funds which have reported April 2018 returns as of the 15th of May 2018. Market analysis firm Hedge Fund Research estimates crypto funds to have produced gains of 47.1% during April, as per the company's HFR Blockchain Index. I told you yesterday that we're coming out with our own cryptocurrency index. What the ES is to the S&P 500, our index will be to all cryptos. Now, there's only 500 companies in the S&P 500. In the cryptoverse, there's a whole lot more to shake a stick at. Now, HFRI's reporting indicates that hedge funds offering exposure to a wide array of industries also produced gains last month, snapping a 2-month downtrend that was experienced across numerous fund indices. The percentage gains posted for April by the HFR Blockchain Index far exceeded those witnessed by other HFR fund indexes. As some of the lines between the virtual currency and the mainstream financial markets start to blur, cryptocurrency hedge funds appear to be attracting numerous Wall Street veterans. A recent report reveals that Block Tower Capital has hired a number of former Goldman Sachs employees in recent months. Block Tower Capital, which was co-founded by Matthew Getz, a former Goldman Sachs vice president, and Ari Paul, formerly of Susquehanna, has recently hired Steve Lee, a former portfolio manager at Goldman. Lee's hiring comes shortly after the company also welcomed former Goldman Vice President Elizabeth Ralston in February and Michael Basella in January. See, at Goldman Sachs, if you're not the janitor or the lady that answers the phone, you're a vice president. Go figure. Earlier today, Adam White, the vice president and general manager of Coinbase, indicated that the exchange is shifting its focusing heavier on targeting these institutional investors. In fact, they were on CNBC. We think this can unlock $10 billion of institutional investor money that is sitting on the sidelines. We're seeing a rapid increase in attention, awareness, and adoption in the cryptocurrency market, adding that Coinbase is absolutely here to serve the institutions. As much as they all want it to go away, it won't. It can't. There's no building, no server, no boss, no time clock. It just is. Can't shut it down. Can't turn it off. Can't make it leave town. So ultimately, the harder they fight, the more warmly they embrace it when they finally come around. Just look at Jamie Morgan, or Jamie over at JP Morgan. Let's look at the numbers. Around the world, we'll start in the U.S. These are cash markets. We'll talk futures in a moment. The Dow's currently up 52 points. The NASDAQ is up 47. S&P 500 is up 11, and the Russell 2000 is up 11. The mover and shaker in that bunch would be the NASDAQ, which is up a little over 0.5%. In the commodity basket, crude oil down 22 cents. We did have inventory numbers today, and it went off, the last trade went off at 71.09. Gold down 80 cents today, trading 12.89.50 last. The Asian markets, the Nikkei finished the session down 100 points. The Shanghai was down 22 at the close, and the Hang Seng lost 42 points today. A red Asia day. Gee, I hope that's not politically incorrect. Okay. The FTSE at the close was up 11. The DAX was up 26. The CAC was up 14. So if anybody's looking for the recurring theme in today's action, it's that there's not a lot of action. We were red in Asia, green in Europe, but not by much. You know, one's just this side of the flat line and the other one's just this side of the flat line. So in the U.S., like I say, we got one mover and shaker. The NASDAQ, it's up over 0.5%. Everything else pretty quiet. S&P 500 up 11. That's just below 0.5%. So there you have it, all wrapped up. Michael, are you there?
Yes, Michael is here.
Michael is here. Okay. Well, yes. My good sir, if you would like to, and I will be going to the Crude today, so.
Okay.
But it doesn't really take more than 5 minutes, I don't think.
Okay.
Unless I get waylaid, mugged. You never know.
Yeah, on the way to the kitchen.
Yep. You just never know.
All right.
Guess who plays video games on my new computer at 3 a.m. in the morning?
Gabe?
Oh, yeah. That's what they used to call him. He's
What?
now the boy without a name or a country or a home or no. Yeah, that was so disappointing. I mean, not like
Yes.
not like the end of the world or anything, but I mean,
But that is a dedicated computer.
it is. Yeah,
It is not to have video games installed on it.
yeah. Especially this. What is this Roblox stuff? What is that?
I don't know.
About League of Legends. Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with the league, yeah.
Well, I'm just glad there was no Debbie Does Dallas on there. I mean, I could live
Yeah,
with the video
yeah.
games, but
Could be a lot worse than video games.
yeah, you're absolutely right. All right, buddy, I'll hit mute and it's all yours.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, all right. Give me just a second. Let me take a drink. Okay, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 16th day of May, 2018. First, hang on. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the home page here at cfrn.net. Right here at the very top of the page, it says sign up for the CFRN live training room, 100% free trial, user indicators on our strategy. Click here. When you click there, you'll be brought to this page. On this page, all we ask for is your email, your first name, how you found us. Hit the submit button, and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click the confirmation link, you will not get a free trial because we don't know you took the free trial unless you click on that link. Okay? Okay. Spreadsheet. If you can read the spreadsheet, you read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Let's see. Today, as I said, is the 16th day of May, 2018. Today we made 12 ticks in the euro, 4 ticks in gold. That put us at plus 115 on the morning session. Okay. Today it took 59 minutes. Just take a look at who's in here very quick. Okay, today it took 59 minutes and 6 opportunities to get to 102.50, and we took a total of 8 opportunities today. So on the month, we're at 2157.50. That's over 12 days, averaging 179 per day. On the year, we're now at 15,808. That's over 91 days, averaging 173 per day. 173 per day. Okay. Okay. Now let's take a look at what happened here. All right, we started out right here. This was just a little pre-market right here, but it was close up above the trend line right there for a long trade. We did jump in here. We got 1 tick on that. We missed this short over here, but we grabbed this one for 3 more ticks to put us at plus 4 on gold. And let's see what else it did. It looks like, oh, I thought that was during the break, but it's not. There was actually a shorting opportunity right here that we missed. And then it got into the break. And the only opportunity during the break would have been a long right here that we did not do. Okay. And that was it for the gold. Now on the euro, see this, I believe was, yeah, a little bit pre-market. There was an opportunity to get long right there in the pre-market. We missed that, but there was another opportunity here that we missed to go long, an opportunity here to go short. We missed both of those. Another opportunity here, which we missed. We did finally get one here for 4 ticks. Then over here, we got another one for 6 ticks. That put us at plus 10. And right here, we got 2 ticks, put us at plus 12. This one over here was a break even. We missed that one. And then let's see during the break if there was anything that could be done. Yeah, right here during the break. That would have been a break-even momentum trade. Okay. Now, crude oil. I had highlighted this area before the crude inventories came out, and I said, look for price to get back up to this area when the crude inventories come out. And right here, the inventories came out, and bam, it went right up to that area. We missed a few trades here on crude, but we didn't do anything with crude all day. We missed a short right there, along there, along there. And I'm going to bounce off the BBC there. It wasn't really trending though. That's probably why I didn't do anything with it. Then during the break, see, there was a momentum short right there. Another momentum short right there. Changed directions, had a bounce off the BBC, would have been a break even right there. And that is it. But I highlighted this area before the crude inventories came out, and I said, watch price go to that area. The ES, we had a couple of break evens on the ES. One there, and one there. Okay, we missed the long over here. And let's see, during the break, we had nothing there, nothing there. We really didn't have anything during the break here. It's going up to the high of the day and the weekly trading zone up above it right now. That's what it looks like on the ES. Okay. Do I ever on larger range bars? Yeah, Brad, you can do that. And some guys do, depending on the market. The difference is going to be the risk because it's going to be 2 bar lengths. So if you did a 10 tick range instead of a 4 tick range, you'd have to have a 20 tick stop. Okay. You could either use a 20 tick stop or you could use the prior swing high or low as your stop point. Okay. All right. Back to this. Now, again, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 16th day of May, 2018. Made 12 ticks on the euro, 4 ticks on gold. That got us to 115 this morning. Today it took 59 minutes and 6 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up 102.50, and we took a total of 8 trade opportunities. So on the month now, $2,157. That's over 12 days, averaging 179 per day. On the year, 15,808. That's over 91 days, averaging 173 per day. Okay. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the home page here at cfrn.net. Right up here at the top, it says sign up for the CFRN live training room. 100% free trials, user indicators on our strategy. Click here. When you click there, you'll be brought here. On this page, all we ask for is your email, your first name, how you found us. Hit the submit button. Once you hit that submit button, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click the confirmation link, we don't know you took the trial. Okay, so you got to click on that link. Joe H. Okay. All right. So with that, if Dwayne is back, we can pass it back up to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona. Studio A overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. And if Dwayne is not back, well, then we can just talk.
Here's Dwayne.
Okay, Dwayne is back. All right, and we can still talk about this gold right here that just closed up above the trend line. That would have been the opportunity. And the euro is moving up with it, as it should.
Do you want me to take the charts? Or
yeah, go ahead.
You
can have the charts.
I can wait. Okay.
Yeah, I was just pointing out what's happening.
Yeah, show me what you were pointing out, and I'll go right there. You're pointing out something on gold?
On gold and on the euro, both of them.
Gosh, I haven't loaded a euro chart in so long. I can't even remember. I know euro used to be. Wow, the yen. We used to trade the yen too.
Yeah.
So gold. Now, your comment on gold was that it was what, turning up, or?
Yeah, it was turning up. It had a momentum long trade. That's so far.
Here's gold on a daily. Now, yesterday, Mike B, who's in the audience a lot, he had asked me to run a daily chart on gold. And usually when I bring up a daily chart, I'll go ahead and bring up the continuation chart. I did a daily continuation chart, and then I did a daily chart of just the June contract, which is what this is. And there was a difference of $10 because we were drawing fibs, and yeah, it was about. So that's why I always tell everyone. I mean, you can use, you can use the continuation for charting purposes, but this won't happen for days. 65 to 55. Oh yeah, okay. So here's the daily on the June. And if I go at GGC, which is the continuous, what happens? Oh, well, number one, you see how this trend line's not there?
Yes. Yes.
Now, let me pull that down. Now I'll go back GGCM. Now the difference there, 1240 to the bottom of that candle, 1247.40. I mean, that's rough. So anyway, it's off enough to be significant. So I just want everybody to kind of be aware that that's really, I mean, unless you need to look way back, because with just the June contract, I mean, you can get some pretty good data back to December of last year. But once you get back into here, I mean, very few people in March of 17 had an interest in the June, buying or selling the June 18 contract. That's why it's like that. And then when you put it on continuation, it just all fills in because man stitches it together. And I guess we've proven that man can be off by $7 to $10. But this is gold on a daily chart. And our lowest weekly zone has been blown out on gold. Our lowest zone for a while, I think, has been 1295/86. And from this most recent swing low up to this swing high right here, yeah. So we just blew through yesterday that 62% fib retracement, and today we're sitting with a doji. So if we can close with this doji or better, there's a chance that we, attempt to put a leg up in gold. Notice that the turning point down here was a doji. Now, are all dojis turning points? Nope. But at many turning points, you will find dojis. So, is that what this is going to be? I don't know. I don't know. I do know that something. This was on the other computer, and I'm starting to realize now, thing after thing after thing, that I got to get the other computer back up and running, so that I can get some stuff off of it. I had a lot of stuff in the cloud, a lot of stuff I just redid, but yeah, that's what I got to do. I got to get that thing up, and it'll run. That's not a problem. It just doesn't run well. All right, what do I want? I want a month. Okay, and I want the ES. I guess I want the at ES.
Brad, did you hear my answer to you earlier? I noticed that you had logged off and logged back on. Okay. Yeah, you can use larger range bars, such as the 10 tick, but the difference is you're going to have more risk. Okay, if you're going to switch to a 10 tick range, you can't go. The risk that I use in the room is 2 bar lengths. Okay, so it's 8 ticks. It's 2 bar lengths. So if you're using a 10 tick, then 2 bar lengths would be 20 ticks. But 20 ticks is probably a lot. So you could also use the prior swing high or swing low, depending on which direction you're trading. put it a couple of ticks beyond the prior swing high or prior swing low. That will also usually keep you in a trade without risking too much. Okay.
Now, Michael, remember last month, we were tracking this all month, and we drew this trend line on the other computer. And we said that a close above this trend line, that we haven't had, this is as far back as I can go, is 2013. We haven't had a bearish cross in 5 years on the monthly. It really looked like we were going to get a pullback to the BBC, and we still may, but I said if we get a close above this trend line, then we have to assume we're going to, attempt another leg up, or at least put in some kind of double top or something. So the last month closed as a doji, and we're now halfway through this month, and we're right snug up against that trend line.
Yes, we are.
This is a monthly chart, guys. Bullish cross, price pulled away, price pulled back, up close, and it looked here like we might get a bearish cross, but it turned back up. How did we not just go long the S&P September of 2013 and semi-retire? I mean, what's up with that?
Yeah.
But I guess the answer is we didn't. So
we did. Yeah. Are there just as good swing patterns on a 10 tick? There's going to be fewer of them, but it still works the same. Okay. It depends what market you're using, how much volatility it has.
Okay, here's a 4 tick. Let me get rid of that thing I drew. 4 tick. And quite frankly, when I'm scouting for opportunities, scouting for setups, I like to look at a 10 tick. And often in a mentoring session, I'll go through a 10, and I don't ever recommend that they trade from the 10 tick. I tell them if they do, just what Michael just said, that you got to increase your risk to be commensurate. But you understand, Brad, that you do understand that you have to accept what Michael said, and that's instead of 8 ticks risk. If you're risking 8 ticks on a 4 tick range, then on an 8 tick range you need to risk 16, and on a 10 you're going to need to risk 20. So 20 ticks, that's 5 S&P points. Now, in our discretionary trading, we will risk up to $300 per contract per trade. But what we do in the morning in the live training room, which is where we're executing trades with surgical precision on that smaller time frame, we only have to risk 8 ticks. And that's a great environment for someone who's brand new to trading, or someone who's been at it for a while and continually getting kind of beat up and knocked down, and they can hit the groove. Yeah, exactly, Brad. You just got to keep it the same ratio. But this is what it looks like on a 10. I mean, what is this? Gold? No, this is the ES. You take it back. It's just whether you put it on that or you go 4 hours, you get the same stuff. See? Bullish cross, price pulled away, price pulled back to physical touch. That might have freaked you out, right? That might have, well, this would have kept me out right here, but that's just a personal preference. This is some real indecision here. See, this, when the step line hits the BBC, that negates the trade right there. The price pulls back, up close. I mean, yep. You could have. What did I do? What did I do wrong? Okay. I can't tell if it touched or not. Looks like it did, huh? Yep.
Oops, yeah, it does look like it.
Oh, no, it didn't. See, I finally got it blown up enough. It missed it by like a tick.
Oh, wow.
That's the beauty of the indicators. That's the power. Okay. Well, enough of that. John's not here yet, right?
Let me look. John is here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Would you like me to open his mic?
Yes, sir. If you would, please.
Okay. There it is. It is open.
Hey, John. Welcome to the show. John,
Yes, John.
you have an open mic. I think he can't hear me. He might have. So while he's getting his. John, you're live.
Oh, hi. Okay.
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hi. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Hear you great.
Good. Good. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, big
today
news
is
up out of Seminole County. Have you heard about that? Not that big.
Say again. Sorry.
Seminole County, Florida.
What about
They
it?
are now accepting Bitcoin for tax payments. County residents can pay in crypto for driver's license, ID cards, and even property taxes.
That's very interesting.
Seminole
I thought you were going to say they were accepting CTG for a minute there.
Oh, that day's coming. That day's coming.
Okay. Listen, today is an epic day, and I'm fairly, what's the word? Can ring the bell a little bit today. Don't ring it because it hurts my ear.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
But
All right. I'm glad you told me. I don't do that so much anymore.
I think we put a buyout this morning on the S&P at 2705, and
Nice.
I said it's going to be a big day. I just came in. It was around 9:20 Eastern. It looked like the market didn't want to go any lower. It was sort of making that kind of bottoming action that happens, and the Nasdaq was sort of just like a horse ready to get out the starting gate. And it's look, what made me take a shot at it. We did sell the highs during the night, and it came down a couple of times, and but the fact that we didn't have any follow through to the downside was pretty, especially with Kim, saying that the meeting's off and all that kind of thing, didn't budge the stock. I thought that the fact that we didn't follow through was very positive. And really, what's happening today is kind of what Mike or Reed and we were all talking about yesterday, which is the possibility of this market going all the way back up again. And I've also said that the market is starting to behave more like 2017, the latter half of 2017 rather than 2018, which is where we saw a lot of one-day pullbacks or 1 or 2 day pullbacks followed by immediate upside. Often that started overnight, and this actually could become more of a feature now. So you get the occasional heart attack sell-off like we had yesterday that kind of freaks everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we didn't have any follow-through to the downside. You see, if you go to maybe if you can go to the monthly there or week, try going to the weekly first. Well, let's go to the daily. Let's go to the daily.
On the S&P?
Let's go. Yeah, let's go to the daily now.
Let me get
Okay, you see how this daily, I mean, what does it look like to you? Is that daily going to take out yesterday's, down bar? This is so classic. This is so 2017, what you're looking at right now, where you get a kind of a one-day pullback. It looks like a top, and then next thing you know, we're going to probably have a big surge to the upside. Maybe in the next few days, Kim is going to say it's all on again, and it's interesting that the market didn't tank last night on this news because probably it's a lot of bluster. Look, this guy, remember, his generals and people, advisors, they're probably talking to him and saying, you should do this, you shouldn't be do this or that, and Trump needs to play hardball as well, because I mean he's already said he's going to walk away, and he said, listen, who do you think needs the meeting more? Kim or Trump?
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty
But
obvious.
I was sitting listening to I don't know, one of those shows on Fox News the other afternoon, And the commentators were sitting around and they're talking about, how great Trump is because he blah blah. And then they started talking about Kim and talking about how Trump, used to call him Rocket Boy, and they were just saying some very unflattering things. And I'm thinking, you know what? Before this guy was willing to come to the table, I understand your rhetoric. I was probably right there with you. But now that the guy's saying, I'd like to make peace, I'd like to see the world be a better place, let's come together. Do you really have to sit up on national? You don't think he's got people watching this show telling him what you're saying?
Well, part of the reason why he did this, Dwayne, was because Bolton came out the other day and sort of said, we should be doing to Kim what we did in Libya. That was kind of a stupid thing to say because they picked up on it. And, even though it was 7 years later before Gaddafi was, was killed, it's not it's a nervous, it's a bit of a nervous precedent for Kim. So you can't blame the guy for being,
I can't blame him at all. Not at all.
Yeah. But speaking of Fox, I don't know whether you saw this last night, but jeepers, this fellow called, I think his name is Jim Malik, was on, or Ted Malik, I think it is, was on, and this is a fellow who he was an advisor to the Trump campaign. He wrote a book. There's a couple of books now. The other one is by the Fox legal analyst, basically talking about the whole conspiracy thing and how it all started. Now they're starting to realize, all this covering that's been going on, the DOJ and everybody. I mean, this is a triad of evil that at the top. Let's call it a quantum of evil and or axis of evil, call it whatever you want. But without naming names, the three primary, you got these three institutions who are colluding to basically do anything to stop Trump winning or becoming president. Now this guy, Brennan is, he's, it goes all the way to the top. I mean, do you think Brennan was doing stuff on his own without Obama sanctioning it? It's a no-brainer. So all of this stuff is going to come out, and it's going to look, we said it a long time ago on the show that stinks to high heaven, and it's getting stinkier every day as all of this stuff is coming out. So this guy writes a book basically exposing this sort of ahead of time, and he gets ambushed by the FBI at an airport or something. I mean, come on. It's like the Gestapo. The
FBI doesn't have a whole lot of respect these days. Now, when did this take place?
Say again, sorry?
When did this happen?
It was on last night. It was on Laura Ingraham's show, and you can listen to it, man.
My wife really likes her quite a bit.
It's scary. It's scary what this fellow said, it is absolutely Gestapo tactics. You can't. It's supposed to be the land of free speech, and the FBI is coming to, interview you because you wrote a book. Jeepers, it's unreal. Absolutely unreal. It's deep state, police state. It's just shocking. I hope they clean this up real quick, because it needs it real bad. And look, these are, listen, we're only the messengers. You're talking about federal prosecutors who are talking about this. Federal prosecutors, high up government officials who are exposing all this stuff. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's sad. It's saddening, actually. Given that everything's going so well, that it's really a stain on the country. So it's very unfortunate.
I think everyone is so obsessed with their own personal agenda. That they forget about the greater good. What's important for the whole. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Look, you and I think, and everybody on this who listens to us, thanks for listening. We're all for the greater good. We want the country to succeed. We want the world to succeed. We want prosperity and peace and prosperity. Not people who are willing to do anything, that will cost to scuttle the government, scuttle the economy and everything else for their own agenda. That's just un-American, unimaginable. It's terrible, and they don't want the economy to do well because it's a guarantee for Trump to get reelected. And and I'm telling you right now, listen, why do you think the bonds are making 7-year lows and interest rates are making 7-year highs? Because this is the strongest economy in 10 years. And it's plain and simple, and it's getting stronger. If the economy was getting weaker, interest rates would be going down, guaranteed. I mean, there's no more sensitive indicator of the economy than interest rates. And what is interest rate? It means demand for money is rising. Why is that happening? Because people want to borrow more money. They want to get into business. They want to make the economy grow. They want to expand their business. They want to build new buildings, build new factories. That's what it's all about. And it's finally happening. And it's taken, listen, we were inches away from going into a depression back in 2008, 2009. Thank God, the people saved the world. Everybody did. You have to give credit to everybody. Everybody had a hand in saving the world, including Obama at the time. We could be it could have been a whole different ball game. But so what? We had the biggest bailout of all time. The economy. At the end of the day, the economy is doing better than it ever has, because otherwise we wouldn't have all these record low unemployment numbers, including blacks and Hispanics and women and everybody else. So this is the best it's ever been in our lifetime. Probably between now the late 90s. I mean, this is really better than 07 in a lot of ways. We're in much more solid territory today than we were back then. We were really in a shaky situation with the housing business and everything.
Let me ask you a question: If the economy continues to expand,
mm-hmm.
do we not end up with? We're at maximum employment, but we've got more jobs than we've got people to fill them. Because the baby boomers.
The 6.6 million job openings is. Listen, you know what the job openings were on the bottom?
We're putting up a fence.
Only 2 million job openings. Now there's 6.5 million job openings.
Yeah, we're
and
putting a fence to keep people out. But now we're going to have to maybe open the door, because who's going to fill these jobs?
Yeah. By the way, look, if you look at the chart.
Which one?
If you look at just we'll go to that in a minute, because I want to go back to the S&P we were looking at. But right now, the gold and silver at the moment look like the stock market a few hours ago. In other words, they have failed to follow through to the downside, except for the platinum, and they're starting to go higher. And we also literally put a buyout on gold this morning at 1287. I think 1628 on the silver, and we just put a buyout on the platinum at 889. It's a little bit below it, so we're not triggered in there yet. We put a buyout on the palladium around 975 this morning. It's at 984 right now. The copper is starting to soar. The metals are starting to really get some traction. Gold just went positive. I said this morning the lows might be in and the highs may be in on the dollar, and I believe they are. And I also said the currencies are a buy. So we could be looking at a really, tectonic turning point here. Because we had a couple of heart attack sell-offs in the gold before and the silver, and then you sort of have this stealth rally, and before you know it, if you didn't get long, you missed the rally. And I didn't want to do that this morning, so that's why we took a shot at it. But I mean, it's really starting to look very good. And by the way, I've already got a buyout on the gold. The gold stocks haven't really taken off yet, but they're starting to getting a little bit of traction here. They're not all in sync yet, so we're not. I wouldn't say this is a confirmed move, but so far so good. Now going back to the S&P, if you could put the weekly S&P up.
Sure.
Dwayne.
Let me adjust this just real quick.
But you see, like while you still have the gold chart there, just for a sec. Okay, look, anytime we get a kind of an early surge, like you get that up bar, and then you get a bit of a retest. Just like yesterday, we looked at something similar. I think the sugar, we were commenting on the sugar being a kind of a similar situation.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the sugar just popped as we speak, so it's on its way as well.
Was this the Wall Street Open right here? No.
Yeah.
That was 9 a.m. Here's the Wall Street
Right.
Open, this little doji.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So, but you know, the last bottom we had after a big sell-off looked a lot like this, and then it went quite a bit higher. So, but usually when you get an uptick and then followed by a little retest and it doesn't go lower, it's usually a pretty good buy point, which is, and the silver in particular now is up 8 cents on the day, which is really, and if you remember what we said yesterday, as long as the silver didn't go below about 16.20, we were very happy with it. And if you remember, I said 12.85 on the gold. We didn't even get there. At the limit of about 12.75. So the fact that we didn't actually touch 12.85 is, I consider to be a positive. And now we're coming up towards yesterday's. Well, we're already.
We got to get above this. This was our lowest weekly zone. We fell through our lowest weekly zone already early in the week. And if we can just get back above that, now we can start the journey again.
Yeah, we got to get really above 13.20 to kind of really negate this whole thing. That's important. But that could happen. Remember, the stronger economy is bullish for gold. It's really because of the dollar. I think the dollar is done now. I think the dollar might have topped here. It's been kind of probing this 93.5 for the last couple of days, and has got rejected off it, and it's starting to get rejected again today. So that's a really good sign. And so
this is the weekly chart of the ES.
Okay, now on that weekly, what stands out? What sort of jumps out at you off that chart? What jumps out at me is we've got 4 very strong, down spike tests that have all reversed upwards very, very strongly.
Yes.
Okay, that's 4 spikes.
Yep.
And the last 2 in particular, I mean, listen, if you want to see what that could turn into, go back and look at 2016, February 2016, and you'll see a double weekly bottom very similar to that.
This is a very bullish pattern, but the context is not quite right. That doesn't mean that we're not going higher. I'm not saying we're not going higher.
Well, go to the monthly now, Dwayne.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, look, sort of compare that with the correction. No, you see what I mean about the double monthly bottom? Check that out there on 2016, 2015, 2016.
Right
see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's the most powerful thing on the universe.
Well, and if you go left, look here. Right there.
Yeah. That was the famous August. Was that was
October 14th.
Right.
And
so
January 16th and February 16th.
Yeah. Now you see that August 15 bottom. See that? That was the 1,000-point drop in one day. See that one? August 14. See that?
Here.
Yeah. That was when we dropped 1,000 points, and we opened down 1,000 points that day, and the market reversed back up. And then we had this. This was the January sell-off, right? The beginning of, and the 2016 correction. Look at where we are today, and look at. I mean, if you look at the correction we're in right now, what looks more bullish? The one we're in right now, don't you think? Because it's kind of a waypoint.
This, you mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we haven't made lower lows, among other things.
Yeah.
And we've got a kind of a head and shoulders bottom here. Look, take your red line off the cursor there.
Yeah.
See that? Perfect head and shoulders, reverse head and shoulders. So what I'm advocating is, I think remember we look, how long ago did we say middle of May liftoff? It's happening before our eyes today. We had and I think that we're going to have an epic acceleration to the upside and potential. I forget what word I used this morning. I used something pretty graphic to describe the kind of rally we're going to have. But when the market is starting to embrace higher rates, because in this market, if the economy is getting stronger, who's going to benefit? The people who are Google, Amazon, Netflix, Facebook, all those companies are going to be printing money. And and look, what's another feature today? Semiconductors are leading the way higher today. Semiconductors, AMD, which I think we said buy it back at 10. It's about 12 something today, 12.3 or 4. AMD, remember, AMD is a late bloomer in bull markets. It's if you go back and look at the history of AMD, it's had some late runs from $7 to $40, things like that. And AMD was a near-death experience there not so long ago. It got down in the 2s or 3s, and it tends to get mojo towards the end of a cycle, and looks like that's happening right now because it's gone up a couple of dollars. I mean, it's gone up 25% here in the last this month, the last month or so, and. Oh, 12.85 is almost at 13. We put a rebuy out on that this morning, by the way, on AMD. So
clean this. All this stuff on this chart. Thought I had a chart ready to go.
So you look at that breakout. Breaking above that trend line now. That's a big deal too.
Monthly, yeah, we were just talking about that earlier because it really looked like we were going to. Because we haven't had a bearish cross with our indicators in over 5 years.
How
long can this really go on? I mean,
well, it's going to go vertical here in the next few months. That's my bet. It's going to go vertical. And I'm thinking this morning, this Fed guy, who I believe I have a lot of confidence in.
Bullard,
maybe
the new head guy.
Jerome, yeah, I think he's doing a lot of. Maybe he's starting to get some things going behind the scenes because the power behind this market today is really, especially remember what I said, when gold and silver start rallying, the markets start rallying together, usually means the Fed's in there doing something or helping it along. So. I got to tell you, when it's this good, and especially when you reverse off a near-death experience like yesterday, and remember, look, these people like Ray Dalio, supposedly short, they might be starting to lose money now, and that's got to be worrying them. And if they have to cover, which they probably will. They're going to have to, they could push the market dramatically higher as well. And look, it takes a lot of people, there's been a lot of headlines calling for the end of the world here recently, a major crash. And that, so there's a lot of people short again, and that's the best, that's the best elixir for a higher market. By the way, the gasoline's making new highs as well today. And the heating oil is also at a new 3 or 4 year high. 3 year high.
Yeah, I actually noticed at the pump. I think it was yesterday or the day before. The price of gas. And I said the other day, I typically don't pay too much attention to it because whatever it is, that's what you got to pay. But yeah, it's definitely up. I don't know what the national average is right now. Do you?
No. 285, something like that. Maybe 250, 260, something like that. I think I saw that the other day. Oh, by the way, we've been talking about Chipotle, Mexican Grill. That got upgraded today, and it jumped about $10. So it's up. I think it's up 66% off its lows, just a few months ago. By the way, Lulu's another one that's been a very strong stock that went through 100 this morning. It's probably going to 120. And I think Microsoft, Lulu.
LU?
Yeah.
Lululemon. Yeah, that was a stock that was on fire a long time ago. It's some kind of women's exercise clothing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And then they had a huge downturn.
Yeah. they're back on track right now, and the other one is Microsoft is getting close to 100. It's actually on a strong double daily buy today. This is another thing, actually Microsoft interesting because it didn't go down. It rallied late yesterday, so it's probably going to break 100 here in the next few days. Microsoft, and of course Apple is back up, and it looks like. Honestly, this thing could be $1 trillion market cap by the end of the month, the way it's going, or certainly by the end of June. I'd say definitely sometime in June it's going to hit $1 trillion. Because it's closing in on 200 now, so just like 100 when you start getting up towards 200, it opens the way up to going to 240, 250. So it's a pretty big deal. It's just like the Dow. I mean, you remember yesterday we got to 200, and we went up. We ended up going up minus 250, and then we reversed. And that happens a lot. 250 is a really important number in the Dow. 250, 300. If it sort of gets up there and starts coming back down, it means it's not going to get any worse. Which is exactly what happened yesterday. Now, the interesting thing is, today, we're up almost 60 on the Nasdaq, but we're not really cutting it on the Dow just yet. We're only up 100 today, whereas we should be up about 100, nearly 200, based on the way everything else is going. But that's okay. Oh, by the way, the strongest of them all is the Russell. Holy mackerel. The Russell and the mid cap are just super strong here. In fact, they're already at a higher price than yesterday, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, there is the Russell right there, and
yeah, the mid cap's already made a new high against yesterday. The Russell, I guess, hasn't quite done it yet. But look at the rise. Is that some kind of a rise or what?
Yeah, that's a big deal for the Russell. Last night's email said to consider being long 1609.
Yeah, good trade. Good trade.
1609.
Yeah, we got that one this morning at about 02, I think. So
1609, we made it up to 1620.
Yeah, we went in when we went in on the S&P near our lows this morning. We went for the Russell as well. I sometimes on the Russell I only have a delayed 15-minute on it, so I have to take a stab at trying to figure out where it is in real time.
Right.
But I think we put it out at 1602 this morning, so I'm pretty pleased with that result. And actually the Russell of all of them looked more bullish than all the rest of them last night. It never broke 1600 late in the day. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or late in the morning, sorry. Late in the morning. So, it's a pretty good day, and got to be thankful for
This
that.
looks like a bottom coming in here on the Dow. It looks like we're going to turn up.
Yeah. Look, we're going to be getting a little bit of a pullback right now. That's okay. Let's see how, this is a pretty big rally. It's entitled to a bit of a pullback, but I would look for just the same. We had that pullback this morning, which we said to people to be buying. We may get another one because look, you see that on the S&P in particular, see how we're coming up against the sort of previous sort of rally before the fall. To consolidate a bit here around about 2730 or so, between 2720 and 2730 would be a good thing for if we consolidate up there before we start making a launch for the 2750 area.
Yeah. We had an alert last night on the Dow. it didn't. I realized it wasn't going to give up much. It gave up the 30 points that was available, but it ran right up to the weekly zone, 775, 780, and stalled out. So we may get back below the trigger and do it again, and ultimately take that out. But yeah, I just love to see. I love to see it happen. Yeah, I sent these numbers out on Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, and here we are on a Wednesday, and it runs right up to it. It turns back.
By the way, the golds have gone positive. The nuggets have gone positive since we mentioned them a while ago. That's all your listeners rushing out and buying, I guess.
Must be. Yeah, must be. So the S&P now, yeah. See the S&P, we just hit also weekly zone at 25.26. So and it was by 21, so it spiked up. 6 points were available on that. So we're gonna have to work our way through this area, and then as we look left, we got to get past this and this. But all it takes is one little piece of news, one little something, somebody somewhere says or does something, and off we go.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Anything else?
No. Listen, thanks for the invite. Glad to be able to report some good news today.
Yeah,
so
that's great. Glad to have you with us each and every day.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
Have a great afternoon.
Okay, you do the same. And let me take care of his mic for him. And I think I'll take care of some fan for myself. Sweet. A reminder. Where'd it go? My reminders here. Our second class is tonight. CryptoPortfolioBuilders.com. This was a press release that was out yesterday. And CryptoPortfolioBuilders.com. So tonight, second class, we had our first class last Wednesday night. We are currently 8% invested. It doesn't matter if you're working with $100 or $100,000. At this point, we're 8% invested across 8 different cryptocurrencies. We will be adding to the portfolio tonight. Got plenty of dry powder, 92% cash. And this is a dollar cost averaging strategy. This is long term. It's not day trading. It's not swing trading, which I love them both. But what we're doing here in these classes is we're trying to take the fear out of the future. So this is not a situation where you wake up one morning and go, oh wow, I made 10 grand while I slept. No, I mean, I'm not saying that can't happen. Anything can happen in this world. This is designed to prepare you for the future. Now, some of us have a greater window of opportunity than others. I mean, let's face it, if you're 30, you got time to make some mistakes. If you're a man of a certain age or woman, you have less time to make mistakes. And conventional wisdom would say you got to take more risk. The smaller your window, the more conservative you have to be. Now, I know some people will want to argue that point and go, oh, no, you got that backwards. I could argue, you know what? I could argue both sides. But I want to argue the side that says either, the heck is that? Anyway, I'd rather argue the side that says I'd rather have to eat a cheaper cut of meat than run the risk of not eating at all. Yeah? I don't know about you, but I've kind of grown accustomed to sleeping indoors with a roof over my head. So, if you're looking to get rich overnight, don't come to class tonight. If you understand what I'm referring to by building a portfolio, a long-term portfolio. Something that, who knows, you might pass on, might become part of your estate. I don't know. That's our goal. That's where we're headed. That's what we're doing. You're welcome to join us. Your first step would be to go to cryptoportfoliobuilders.com. Watch our initial webinar that was a week and a half ago. Okay. The members only area has, so anyone, those of you that have become members this week, let me know so that I can give you access to the members only area, so that I would really like for you to watch last week's class. We recorded it, but it's in the class is in the members only area. I'd really like you to watch last week's class. So tonight, when class starts, at the beginning of class, if you have any questions about what we said and did last week, we can answer those real quick. And now everybody's on the same page and ready for class 2. And during class, end of class, we will make those additions to the portfolio. Now, as a member, you have access to the portfolio at all times. You'll know exactly what's happening, how it's performing. If you've mirrored it move for move, you'll know. There's no cloud of mystery, no smoke and mirrors, no parlor tricks. This is the real deal. Now, I understand that some people actually do want pie in the sky. They want to fantasize about, and you can do that. You can daydream all day long about what it'd be like to hit the lottery. Or you can get up and go to work. Who's going to have the better retirement? Well, statistically, you'll get struck by lightning twice in your lifetime before you win the lottery. Says a guy who won the lottery. So it was only 50 grand, and it was when I was a child, literally very young. Paid some bills, went to Mexico, and was broke again. Such is life. C'est la vie. Phoenix, Arizona, the Fantasy 5. Got 5 out of 5 on one line and 4 out of 5 on 4 other lines. Actually paid $51,500 before taxes. You take them taxes right off the top. So if you ever find yourself in that situation, then you might ask, no, I better not. Now, let me just stop there. Now, some of you know where I was going, but I won't go there. Okay, so the S&P has run up against this week's weekly trading zone at 2725/26. I don't normally break it out till Thursday, but I just thought since we're up against it and you're getting ready to go long here, I might save you some pain and aggravation. Okay. Is there a chance we dip back below 21 and take another run and maybe another run? Yeah, certainly. Absolutely possible. On the Dow, we hit the zone of the tick there. 33, let me get that right, 33 points, 33 points available per contract. Yes, 33 points available per contract. Got it. On the Russell, 11 points, $50 a point, $550. We never get out at the swing high or swing low though, because we trail or stop. Just like if you're in this trade here right now. Now you might have got in here and you might have took 3 points. You might have took 2 points. You got your goal for the day. And then we got back below the trigger and it did it again. Got back below the trigger, did it again. So this one trade alert has presented 1, 2, 3 trading opportunities. And the ones with the least amount of risk often bring the greatest profit potential. So if you were trailing your stop, you might be sitting here right now going, oh man, I hope it don't take me out. If it does, if it takes you out of 16, 17, no big deal. You picked up 8 points. But but there was 11, and I only got 8. You got to get beyond that. Okay. NQ last night, the email said consider buying 69.01. That puts us right about here. Okay. Now the swing high right there was 69.07. That's $120 per contract. But if you're risking more, you're looking for more. But based upon how we set our stops, if you were working off a 30-minute chart, yeah, you came close to getting stopped out, but you didn't. Okay? You probably dropped to a smaller time frame to pick your entry, and on that you might have got stopped out. Now up here we hit, what do we got, 53? Yeah. So we'll call it 50 points. $20 a point. That's $1,000 per contract available. Except you can't have it all, because this pullback right here, if you were trailing behind the low of this candle, just take it out. That's one of several ways that you can trail your stop. Crude, I don't think Crude did anything for us. Let's see. We were looking to be buyers at 71.40 or 70.80. Today was inventory days, and so we did trigger the 70.80, and we dropped down to call it 10 ticks, $100. Not a lot. Could it have stopped you out? Absolutely. What we got left? Gold. Did we talk about gold? Gold, we said to sell 1287, and we got right. That definitely stopped you out. 1287. The swing low was 85.70. I guess you could have picked $100 out of there per contract. And on the long side, $98. It hasn't happened yet. It may not. Bonds. So 141.05, and we got down to 140.28. So that's 9 times 31.25. And soybeans, we said to consider selling 10.11. And if you sold 10.11, you got down to, call it a dime, $500. $500 per contract available. There you have it. Okay, we're going to do some consolidating here, just like we did over here, it looks like. We're not immediately going back below the trigger. We could go higher, but we got a lot of work to do. There are all these hurdles. These are all obstacles that the market has put in its own path for us to move higher. It takes financial commitment from the buyers for price to move higher. For price to drop, all that has to happen doesn't even have to be about the sellers. If buyers stop buying, price will drop. Just the way it works. All right, good word for the day. Remember yesterday we talked about the test? Genesis 22:9. He bound Isaac his son and laid him on the altar. Think about that, dads. Think about that, moms. Abraham considered Isaac to be a special gift from God. But God-given gifts are wonderful things and dangerous things. Why do we say that? Because as you cultivate the gifts that God has given you, you can begin to rely on them more than you rely on God. At that point, your greatest strength becomes your greatest weakness. It was God who gave Lucifer a beautiful form and a beautiful voice. Those gifts were originally used to glorify God. Then Lucifer started looking in the mirror, reflecting on his own beauty. He glorified the gift he had been given instead of glorifying God. The lesson we all know in Lucifer's fall is this: whatever you don't turn into praise turns into pride. And that's a problem. Because in James 4:6 it says, God resists the proud but gives grace to the humble. God loves a humble man. He really does. Instead of deflecting praise to God, Lucifer let it feed his ego. It was his sinful desire to be lifted up that led to his downfall. So, ask yourself, what are your greatest God-given gifts? Can you write? Can you draw? Can you paint? Can you play the piano like nobody's business? What are your most significant God-ordained opportunities? Are you using the gift to fulfill the opportunity? What God-sized dreams is the Holy Spirit conceived in your spirit? That's your Isaac right there. Now remember what we said at the beginning. Bound Isaac up, put him on the altar. Think about your Isaac. Who or what is your Isaac? You should love your Isaac. You should celebrate your Isaac. But you can never allow your Isaac to take the place of God. Because it was God who gave you the Isaac, whatever your Isaac is. Sometimes God-ordained dreams aren't just born, they have to be reborn. If they become more important to you than God, you have to sacrifice them for the sake of your soul. You have to put them on the altar. You got to raise the knife. Sometimes, your dream must die before it can be resurrected for God's glory. That's a lot to think about, and that's our good word for the day. Reminder class tonight, CryptoPortfolioBuilders.com, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's every Wednesday night. Look forward to seeing you there. If you want to become a member, if you need help becoming a member, if you don't know how to become a member, go to CryptoPortfolioBuilders.com. Everything you need is right there. But if you need additional help, call me on the toll-free number. I'll be happy to help you. Okay? All right, that's going to do it. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.